The story of Athens, a city synonymous with democracy, philosophy, and art, begins not with its iconic marble temples that we know today, but with the very earth itself, the rugged landscape of Attica that cradled its nascent civilization. Picture a rocky outcrop, the Acropolis, a natural marvel, rising majestically from the Attic plain, a sentinel overlooking the land. This strategic location, a natural fortress, drew Neolithic settlers, offering them protection and a commanding view of their surroundings. As early as 3000 BC, these were the first Athenians, laying the foundation for a city that would shape the course of Western civilization. These early farmers and herders, the pioneers of Athens, built simple homes, shelters crafted from the resources available to them, worked the land, cultivating crops and raising livestock to sustain their community, and left behind pottery shards and stone tools. Fragments of their daily lives, faint echoes of a distant past, whispering stories of survival and adaptation. As centuries passed, the settlement grew, slowly but steadily expanding its footprint on the Acropolis, entering the Bronze Age, a period of technological advancement and societal change, and becoming a Mycenaean stronghold, a fortified citadel that reflected the growing power and influence of Athens. The Acropolis was fortified with massive Cyclopean walls, constructed with stones so large that later generations believed they could only have been moved by giants, enclosing a royal palace, the seat of Mycenaean rulers who controlled the surrounding territory, and marking Athens as a center of power and trade, a hub of activity that connected the Aegean world. Myth and history intertwined here, the stories of gods and heroes became inseparable from the city's identity. Poseidon and Athena vied for the city's favor, each offering a gift to win the hearts of the Athenians, but the olive tree, Athena's gift, a symbol of peace and prosperity, became the enduring symbol of peace and prosperity, a testament to Athena's wisdom. The city's name, Athens, a tribute to the goddess, forever honored the goddess of wisdom, ensuring her legacy would live on through the ages. Around 1200 BC, the Mycenaean world collapsed, a period of widespread upheaval and destruction. Palaces burned, trade faltered, economies crumbled, and societies were thrown into disarray, and Athens entered a dark age, a period shrouded in mystery with limited archaeological evidence. Yet, the Acropolis settlement endured, a beacon of continuity amidst the chaos, its people preserving memories and traditions, passing down stories and skills from one generation to the next, through hardship, facing famine, conflict and uncertainty with resilience and determination. Even in decline, when the city's fortunes were at their lowest ebb, the seeds of future greatness remained, dormant but not extinguished, waiting for the right conditions to sprout. From these humble beginnings, from the struggles and triumphs of its earliest inhabitants, Athens would rise again, transformed and revitalized, stronger and more brilliant than before, ushering in a golden age that would leave an indelible mark on the world. Emerging from the Dark Ages, a period shrouded in mystery and upheaval, ancient Greece began to stir. The seeds of civilization, though scattered, were far from extinguished. Athens, a rising power, transformed into a bustling city-state. However, this growth masked deep-seated issues. Inequality festered, and social unrest threatened to tear the city apart. The promise of prosperity was not shared by all. By the 7th century BC, the reins of power were firmly in the hands of the aristocrats. These wealthy elites controlled the land, the resources, and ultimately the fate of Athens. Meanwhile, ordinary citizens struggled under the weight of crushing debt. Many faced the grim prospect of losing their land, their freedom, and even being sold into slavery to pay off what they owed. In these turbulent times, a figure of hope emerged. Solon, a respected statesman, was appointed archon in 594 BC, tasked with the monumental challenge of restoring order and justice to Athens. Recognizing the urgent need for change, Solon enacted sweeping reforms designed to address the root causes of the city's problems and create a more equitable society. His first act was to cancel debts, a bold move that immediately alleviated the burden on countless Athenian citizens. He went further, freeing those who had been enslaved due to debt, offering them a chance to rebuild their lives. Solon also established a new legal framework, creating laws that applied to all citizens, regardless of their social standing, laying the foundation for a more just society. These transformative changes eased the immediate tensions that gripped Athens, offering a glimmer of hope for a more stable future. However, Solon's reforms, while significant, did not completely eliminate the underlying struggle for power between different factions within Athenian society. The seeds of true democracy, planted by Solon, would only fully blossom under the leadership of Cleisthenes, a visionary reformer. It was at the end of the 6th century BC that Cleisthenes stepped onto the stage, ready to reshape Athenian society in a profound way. He understood that to achieve true democracy, he needed to break the entrenched control of the aristocracy, dismantling the old power structures. Cleisthenes embarked on a radical reorganization of Athenian citizens, dividing them into 10 new tribes. These tribes were based not on family ties or social status but on residence, fostering a sense of shared identity and civic unity among all Athenians. To further empower the people, Cleisthenes created the Council of 500, a body responsible for preparing legislation for the assembly. The members of this council were not elected, but chosen by lot, ensuring that ordinary citizens had the opportunity to participate in governance. And at the heart of Cleisthenes' reforms was the empowerment of the assembly, the ecclesia, where all Athenian citizens could gather and make decisions. In this assembly, every male citizen had the right to speak, to debate, and to vote on matters of state, giving them a direct voice in the governance of their city. To safeguard against the rise of tyranny, Cleisthenes introduced the practice of ostracism. This allowed citizens to vote to exile any individual deemed to be a threat to democracy, preventing any one person from accumulating too much power. Though imperfect, a system with limitations that reflected the social norms of its time, excluding women from political participation, and denying rights to slaves and foreigners residing in Athens, Athenian democracy was a truly revolutionary concept, a radical departure from the traditional forms of government that had dominated the ancient world. It ignited a sense of civic pride and unleashed a wave of creativity, paving the way for the golden age of Athens. This bold experiment in self-governance would not only define the character of Athens but also serve as a source of inspiration for democratic movements around the world for centuries to come. The destiny of this great city was now firmly in the hands of its people, a testament to the enduring power of collective action and the pursuit of self-determination. The Golden Age of Athens dawned in the 5th century BC, led by the visionary Pericles. He championed democracy, enabling even the poorest citizens to participate in government. Under his leadership, Athens rebuilt the Acropolis, crowning it with the Parthenon, a symbol of power, beauty, and devotion to Athena. The city flourished as a center of art, drama, and philosophy, with the theater of Dionysus hosting the works of Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides. Politics, art, and intellect merged, creating a vibrant public life and a legacy that would define classical civilization. Athens, at its zenith, became the cultural heart of the ancient world. Athens' golden age unfolded amid epic conflicts, the Persian Wars and the Peloponnesian War. In 490 BC, Athenians triumphed over Persia at Marathon, proving the might of free citizens. A decade later, after the Persians sacked Athens, Themistocles led a decisive naval victory at Salamis, securing Greek independence. Athens then led the Delian League, transforming it into an empire and fueling resentment among other city-states, especially Sparta. Rivalry erupted in 431 BC with the Peloponnesian War, a brutal struggle chronicled by Thucydides. Plague, military disasters, and internal strife weakened Athens. In 404 BC, a defeated, starving Athens surrendered to Sparta, ending its empire and its golden age. The city's glory faded, but its spirit endured. The lessons of war and loss would shape Athens for generations. Amid war and upheaval, Athens became the cradle of Western philosophy. In the Agora, Socrates challenged citizens to question their beliefs, using relentless dialogue to seek truth and wisdom. His motto, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Socrates' probing questions unsettled the powerful, leading to his trial and execution in 399 BC. His student Plato founded the Academy, the first Western institution of higher learning, and explored justice, reality, and politics in his dialogues. Plato's student Aristotle expanded philosophy into science, ethics, and logic. Together, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle laid the foundations of Western thought, all within the vibrant intellectual crucible of Athens. Their legacy endures, shaping how we think to this day. Athens' political power waned after its golden age, its influence diminishing on the broader stage of ancient Greece. The once vibrant democracy found itself increasingly subject to external forces. But even as its political star faded, Its cultural prestige soared, becoming a beacon of art, philosophy, and intellectual thought for the entire Mediterranean world. This cultural dominance continued even as Rome conquered Greece in 146 BC, marking a significant shift in power dynamics. The Romans, recognizing Athens' unparalleled intellectual and artistic legacy, revered Athens, seeing it as a source of wisdom and inspiration. They transformed it into an intellectual hub for the empire, a place where Roman citizens could come to learn from the great thinkers and artists of the past. Emperors like Hadrian, a known Philhellene, funded grand projects, lavishing resources on the city to restore and enhance its former glory. These included the Roman Agora, a new marketplace and center of civic life, the colossal temple of Olympian Zeus, a testament to both Greek and Roman architectural prowess, and new libraries to house the vast collection of knowledge. This period saw a unique blending of Roman ambition with Greek heritage, creating a distinctive architectural and cultural landscape. Athens thrived as a center of learning, attracting scholars and thinkers from all corners of the Roman world, eager to study at its renowned institutions. Students from across the vast empire flocked to Athens, seeking the wisdom of its philosophers and the knowledge contained within its ancient texts. However, the winds of change were blowing, and in the 4th century AD, Christianity swept through the Roman Empire, including Athens, challenging the old pagan order. This new faith led to the transformation of temples into churches, a symbolic shift in the city's religious landscape. Most notably, the iconic Parthenon, once dedicated to the goddess Athena, became the Church of the Virgin Mary, a powerful symbol of the transition from paganism to Christianity. The closure of philosophical schools by Justinian in 529 AD, a decision aimed at suppressing pagan thought, marked a turning point. This act is often seen as marking the definitive end of antiquity and the beginning of the Middle Ages for Athens. Under Byzantine rule, Athens faded into a provincial town, losing much of its former prominence and influence within the empire. Its magnificent monuments were neglected, falling into disrepair, and its population dwindled as people migrated to more prosperous centers. Yet, despite the decline, the city's sacred landscape endured, a testament to its enduring spiritual significance. The ancient sites were layered with new religious meaning, as Christian symbols and traditions intertwined with the remnants of the pagan past. The classical world, with its emphasis on reason and philosophy, gradually gave way to the medieval world, dominated by faith and religious dogma. But even in this new era, Athens' spirit persisted, a spark of its former glory refusing to be extinguished. The city's ancient glory, though diminished, lingered beneath the shadow of the Byzantine cross, a reminder of its enduring legacy. After the Byzantines, Athens passed through the hands of crusaders before falling to the Ottomans in 1456. The city became a provincial outpost, the Parthenon was converted into a mosque, and the Agora became a maze of Ottoman streets and bazaars. Life was marked by coexistence and hardship. Greeks kept their faith but paid heavy taxes. Athens shrank, its ruins largely ignored by locals but romanticized by Western travelers. In 1687, a Venetian bombardment struck the Parthenon, used as an Ottoman powder magazine, causing a devastating explosion. The temple's destruction left a permanent scar, symbolizing centuries of foreign rule. Athens' classical past faded into memory, but its ruins remained as silent witnesses. The city awaited its next rebirth. In the 19th century, inspired by revolutionary ideals, Greeks rose against Ottoman rule. The War of Independence was fierce. Athens changed hands repeatedly, and its monuments suffered. With help from European powers, Greece won freedom. And in 1834 Athens, then a small village, was named the capital. King Otto and German architects reimagined the city, designing grand boulevards and neoclassical buildings to echo its ancient glory. The Acropolis was cleared of later additions, reconnecting modern Greece with its classical roots. Athens was reborn as a symbol of national identity and pride. The city's transformation was both physical and symbolic, a bridge between past and future. Ancient ruins and modern ambitions now stood side by side. Athens emerged as the heart of a new nation. In the 20th century, Athens grew rapidly, shaped by waves of refugees and rural migrants. The city sprawled outward, facing challenges of congestion, pollution, and strained infrastructure. The 2004 Olympics sparked a renaissance, new transport, pedestrian zones, and a grand promenade linking ancient sites. Today, Athens is a vibrant European capital where modern life unfolds beside iconic ruins. Cafes in Plaka overlook the Parthenon, markets bustle near ancient agoras. The city remains a global center for culture and tourism, drawing millions to walk in the footsteps of Socrates and Pericles. Athens is more than monuments, it's a living testament to resilience and reinvention. From a rocky hill its spirit endures, echoing through millennia.